I married a man who earns 45 million a month, but after the wedding, I realized my life was nothing like I dreamed. I used to think marrying a filial man was the right choice for a lifetime. I even believed I was lucky, because my husband was the kind of man everyone admired: responsible, devoted to his parents, stable career, high salary, and a clear future ahead. But after getting married, I realized something. Some forms of filial devotion make a wife and children pay the price. And the one paying that price was me. My name is Lynn. I'm 25 years old. I got married last year when I had just turned 24. Right now, I'm on maternity leave. My son has just turned 3 months old. From the outside, many people think my life is pretty good. My husband's name is Ton. He's 30 years old and works as a mid-level manager at a large company in Hanoi. His salary is about 45 million Vietnamese dongs per month. I work as an accountant for a trading company and earn about 15 million Vietnamese dongs. Together, our household income is around 60 million Vietnamese dongs each month. At 25, having a husband, a baby, and that level of income, anyone would think my life must be comfortable. But the truth is the complete opposite. My life isn't really living. It's carrying burdens, carrying them month after month, carrying every expense, carrying debts that I wasn't even the one who created. Ever since we got married, I realized my life had only one goal: paying off debt. Not debt for buying a house, not debt for investing, not debt from running a business, but debt for my husband's family. I met Ton 3 years ago. At that time, I had only been working for about a year after graduation, while he already had a stable career. He was mature, calm, and spoke with a strong sense of responsibility. From the very first days of dating, he told me about his family. His parents live in the countryside and have spent their entire lives working in agriculture to raise their children. He is the eldest son, so he always felt he had a duty to take care of them. He once told me that not long before we met, he had borrowed money to rebuild a house for his parents back home. The debt at that time was about 300 million Vietnamese dongs. He talked about it calmly, but I could see pride in his eyes. He said, "As the eldest son, if I don't take care of my parents, who will?" Honestly, I felt deeply touched at that moment. In my mind back then, a man who knew how to care for his parents would definitely know how to care for his own family. I didn't see it as a burden. On the contrary, I thought I was lucky to love a responsible man like him. I even told him, 300 million isn't that big. If we work hard together for a few years, we'll pay it off. He smiled and said, "I think so too." At that time, I trusted him completely. We dated for another year before getting married. From the outside, our wedding looked quite beautiful. Not overly luxurious, but decent and well organized. There was a wedding dress, photos, a reception, and wedding gold. Friends who attended all congratulated me for marrying a good man. They said I was lucky. Some even joked, "With a husband earning 45 million a month, Lynn will live comfortably from now on," and I believed that too. But only a few weeks after the wedding, I began to feel that something wasn't quite right. After the wedding, I moved in with my husband to a rented apartment near his workplace. In the early days of marriage, I thought we would start building a new life together. I imagined the two of us saving money and planning our future. But in the very first month after the wedding, when we sat down to calculate our expenses, I started to realize things were different from what I had imagined. My husband opened a list of debts he had written down. I still clearly remember the numbers. Every month he had to pay bank loan payments, money borrowed from colleagues, money borrowed from friends. In total, more than 20 million Vietnamese dongs every month. I was surprised and asked, "If the debt is only 300 million, why is the monthly payment so high?" He simply replied, "I want to finish paying it off as quickly as possible." I didn't doubt him. I just thought he was responsible and wanted to resolve everything soon. But in the following months, our life started to become extremely tight. Even though our combined income was about 60 million a month, after paying rent, daily expenses, and debt repayments, we had almost nothing left. We didn't travel, we didn't shop, we didn't eat out. Sometimes I had to calculate even the smallest expenses very carefully. There were months when I looked at my bank account and wondered, why is my income not low at all? Yet our life still feels like we're constantly short of money. At that time, I still tried to reassure myself. I thought maybe after a few years, once the debt was paid off, everything would get better. I believed this was just the difficult early stage of marriage. But one day, when I casually asked my husband about the expenses for our wedding. He answered very normally, and that answer sent a chill down my spine, because I discovered a truth I had never imagined before. The wedding that I once believed was the happy beginning of my life was actually built on borrowed money, not just one loan, but many loans. And the first shock I discovered after getting married was this: from the wedding bed, the wardrobe, to even the gold presented during the ceremony, most of it had been bought with money my husband borrowed from his colleagues. That was when I began to realize my marriage might not be as simple as I once thought. But what I didn't know yet was that was only the beginning.